we go, Chatterino Cappuccino. Welcome, FGO last segment. This is the last segment. I swear to God, it is last. I think it is last. At least for the long Nasu interview shenanigans. So the title will be called Walking Among FGO for 10 Years. Thoughts and Feelings, right? So here we go. FGO と関わってきたこの10年を振り返って思い出深い出来事について教えてください。It says you've been now with FGO for about 10 years. Now looking back, what's the most impressionable thing that happened that stick to you to this day? So Nasu answers, FGO の制作に関わるようになってからは、取材のために意識的に海外旅行に行くようになりました。例えば2018年のイベント、サーバントサマーフェスティバルはハワイが舞台だったので、みんなで取材も兼ねてハワイに行ったのですが、そこでしか感じられない空気を感じられて、とても勉強になりましたね。The NASA specifically answers this when obtaining research materials and backgrounds and other ideas for FGO in general. We tend to start going outside Japan, essentially going on trips in order to get materials, supplies, lores, and gimmicks, and essentially references. We've been going more into the outside overseas. For an example, 2018 summer event, Servant Summer Festival. Hawaii was the stage. So in order to get references and materials and understanding of the cultures and utilize it into FGO, a lot of us went to Hawaii. And man, I've definitely experienced something that only I could learn from there as well. Felt it, like almost a different type of air breathing as well. And then the interviewer goes, what about you, Mr. Takeuchi? Takeuchi specifically says, last year was Fate's 20th year anniversary. But when it comes to Fate's Day Night, 作るにあって、決死集会で旅行にしていった旅館があるんですよ。It says, Fate's already at its 20th year, but simultaneously when creating Fate's Day Night, we were coming up with the final decisions and creation back in the day, and we went on a field trip. And there's a specific inn that we rested upon. 去年また社会旅行で行ったら少し改善されたものも20年前に行った時とあまり変わっていなくて、エミヤ素人のフローのモデルにした場所がそのまま残っていたので、床下のモデルにした場所がそのまま残っていたのが思い出深いですね。僕は旅行に行ってもただ楽しんで終わってしまうんですが、ナスさんは毎回たくさんの発想や帰着を持ち帰ってきて、さすが視点が違うなと思いますね。So it's essentially, it says, Takeuchi says, whenever we went to finalize Fate's Day Night and made a decision to make it as a project, they went to an inn, right? Ryokan, like a pavilion, in a place where you can, it's a hotel, essentially. And last year, as a work trip, we went back, and it was modified just a little bit. However, the 20 years ago, the location where we used Emiya's floor model, right? Essentially the tatamis that you saw in Emiya's house, the Emiya's location, the tatami, that location was not changed. What left me in an impressionable feeling for certain. I went on a vacation, but I end up enjoying myself to the very end. Unlike Mr. Nasu, would always come up with an interesting idea or thought process and bring it home and craft it new. As expected, our point of view are quite different, in my honest opinion. 取材旅行できっかけに誕生したサーバントは何ですか? It says, while investigating for materials and references, is there any servant that was born out of sheer, just that moment? いますよ。以前、静岡の県名有名なハンバーグを食べる前に、タムマルツアーをしたことがあって、帰りに静岡ホビーショーを寄ったのですよ。そこでいろいろと見回ったナスがノリノリで考えたのがメカエリちゃんでした。Oh. It says, yeah, definitely for certain. Takeuchi answered, there is. In actuality, during Shizuoka, right? Shizuoka's little famous shop, we were eating a hamburger there in order to take some bullet train and had a tour, right? Like a quick tour. And when we were going home, we went to this hobby show, right? AKA Hobby Lobby, AKA Shizuoka's little gift shop, or like a kind of a place of attraction there. When we were going around, Nasu was like on his high mood, and next thing you know, he came up with a servant called Mecha Eli-chan. Lol. Nasu goes, I'm not gonna lie, during the hobby show, there was a lot of cool mecha. Specifically a Mecha Godzilla, right? Mecha Godzilla figures, and it was fascinating. When I saw that mecha for the first time, I thought to myself, why don't I make a Mecha Eli-chan out of that? How's that sound? And I laughed to myself. Elizabeth自体がゴジラ疑似人から it says, after all, OG Ellie's base was essentially Godzilla in a humanoid form. So, Mecha Eli-chan, エリザベート自体がゴジラの擬人化から思いついたキャラクターなので、yeah, so Elizabeth was essentially a Godzilla-like character. And so, because I thought of it like that, I was thinking Mecha Eli-chan, Mecha Godzilla, we can do it. The problem was definitely if Miss Wada Arco was going to draw it. But when I gave that idea, Miss Wada Arco just got on her high horses and started drawing. It was a blessing. Takeuchi says, 旅でそのアイデアを聞いてみんな爆笑したのはものもいい思いでしたね。Takeuchi answered, during this time of the trip, when every staff heard about the idea, everybody laughed out loud. It was a good memory to have for certain. It says, this will be a little bit off topic of FGO, but I would love to ask this question to you all. この10年でスマホの優勢や SNS のインフラが進んでいることでエンタメの存在法が大きく変わりました。お二人さんがここ最近で興味を見られたサービスは何でしょうか? This is going to be a little bit off topic of FGO for a moment, but I would like you to ask this question. Within this 10 years, smartphones and SNS, which is social media, influence has increased its value tremendously. And entertainment's existence drastically has changed. What are your current hobbies and interests and other services that you utilize to enjoy or utilize in this modern times? Nasu says, currently, I am very interested in ChatGPT. Unfortunately, I'm too busy to interact with it at the moment. It says, FGO をはじめとするすべての仕事が手を離れたら It says, if I can let go all of my work and job and responsibility that pertains to FGO, perhaps, maybe, I might be able to create a clone of myself and called Kinoko GPT. That's what I wanted to do. But that's definitely a future ahead of my time. I'll probably utilize that during my retirement and kind of have fun. Have fun with that retirement idea. Takeuchi answered, definitely a subscription-based service definitely changed the content's existence quite drastically, in my honest opinion. And I'm feeling it, certainly. 絶対的に世の中に溢れてくる情報が多くなりすぎて、個人が受け入れる容量が超えつつなどと。It says, in this world, We are now limiting the reach where information is too much to handle and information is way abundant. And there's now a overcapacity of what a single person can obtain, affect, or even comprehend. And that's even going over the limit of limits. And then Nasu specifically goes, それは確かにあるよね. It says, that's certainly true for certain. 何かで人間が1日に判断できる回数は限られているという話を見たんですが、大きなり小なり、大きなり小さなり決断することは脳のエネルギーを使うし、それが多くなると脳が麻痺か疲れてしまうそうです。日々受け取る情報量をもう少し減らして本当に必要なものだけを選ぶ。そして自分の、脳の使い方を考えなければいけない時代になってきたと思います。So it says, I heard and saw an article and witnessed something very interesting. The topic of a human has a limited amount of decision-making process for one day. That's the topic at hand that I've read beforehand. Whether it's large or small, when making a decision, it does require a brain energy. And if that brain energy consumption gets larger and larger, your brain will get withered and tired and gets exhausted. I believe I want to try to do my best to take a less information on a daily intake and want to choose what is very important and necessary. And I think we've gotten into the age where using your brain we're using your brain sparsely, if not efficiently, not to get drowned by these unnecessary information. Uh, お二人にとってこの10年間で出会いた印象のゲームは何でしょうか? So, to the crew of you, I have a question. Within this 10-year, what is the most impressionable game that you have so far? Nasu specifically says, within this 10-year, definitely the best was Elden Ring. I believe the quote-unquote fantasy type style that I wanted during my kids' age, like I dreamed of, 100% of the structure,エルデンリングが最高だと思います。初めてプレイした時に少年時代の夢を見た廃棄的なファンタジーが世界が 100% の形で出力されていて、心からの感動と衝撃を受けたんですよ。発売の当時は仕事？俺はあの頃憧れた世界に憧れた世界にいるんだぞ。エルデンリングをプレイすること以上に大事なことがあるのかというくらいに思ってしまいました。この作品はこれほど面白いのは難しくてしんどいからというものにも確かにはあります。なぜなら、圧力からの解放は快楽につながるから。それは一部のド M なユーザーやフロムソフトの信仰者しか受け入れれないでしょうけど、エルデンリングは高難易度の IRPG の完成作と思います。Essentially, Nasu says Elden Ring is goated. Elden Ring is goated. Elden Ring is top. Whenever I played it for the first time, it reminded me of the ideal abandoned site in an abandoned world of like the land of fantasy that I imagined back in the day when I was a kid. 100% structured and outputted. From the bottom of my heart, I had emotional feelings and shock. When the game first arrived, I genuinely thought, why work? I'm currently in the world that I aspired and desired to. What is more important than playing Elden Ring at this very moment is what I impressionally thought in the first place. This product, this Elden Ring, is so fun, and one of the interesting part about it is that it's also its difficulty. And because it's difficulty and very tiresome, but also not easy, is also its gameplay. After all, after a tremendous amount of pressure and hard struggle, the release of tension leads to pleasure and comfort. This could only probably be understood by aka quite the masochist players, or what we call the FromSoft enthusiasts, will probably be the only one who can truly understand how I feel. However, Elden Ring is a very high difficulty RPG perfected version of a video game.ナスさんのエルデンリング好きはファンの内では有名ですが、そこまで深い思いを入れてたんですね。It says, Mr. Nasu, your love for Elden Ring, within among the fans, it was quite popular, but I didn't know it ran so deep. Simultaneously, if I want to go for a recent product, I would like to suggest Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's a France studio created JRPG respected product. To be perfectly honest, it has been a while since I felt passion in a video game like this. In a very different meanings, in a lot of different meanings, I have been defeated. Sync 自体の RPG のように企画を大きくしてプレイ時間を引き伸ばすとは真逆真逆のコンセプトで、やろうと思えば2時間以上程度で終わるコンパクトな作品です。でも雑魚戦を合わせる戦闘の一つ一つのものすごく厳密にデザインしてあって、20時間でユーザーを満足させて尽くしてくれるんですよ。This is Clair Obscur. Yeah, he played Expedition 33. He did. He says the fact that the France studio respects the JRPG style so much that it definitely felt passionate about it in many different more ways than one. To be perfectly honest, unlike utilizing the concept of the current RPG, they made the entire expedition large and in charge, and 長い時間引き伸ばすと、真逆のね、コンセプトでやろうと思えば2時間程度で終わるんですよ。It says, yeah, they could have expanded the expedition in order to prolong the gameplay time, but they went for the completely different concept. If you really wanted to finish this game, 20 hours probably will be enough to finish this game completely easily. It is a compact and condensed video game. But even against fighting a mob, the battle, each individual battle that you pertain, the details and finite details and concept that they brought upon with this design, even only 20 hours of gameplay, the user base will surely be satisfied of how amazing this game world provides. And simultaneously a roadblock of bosses that's spreaded throughout the world. Battling is quite exciting and thrilling as well. This is 100% a JRPG style video game, but it was not created in Japan or from a Japanese person, and it was a thought process that was unique and different from the regular JRPG. Takeuchi says, in my opinion, it's going to be a little bit an old product. It's going to be definitely Death Stranding. It was definitely enjoyable for me. Giving items to specific locations necessary was supposed to be the main genre. But I never thought a simple point A and point B I never thought a simple point A and point B delivery system would be created into such an exciting and fun story. That's the most amazing part. And of course, this also exists in Elden Ring as well. But Yeah, this, but それまで見たこともない世界や場所を自由に、探索できる感覚は、it says, however, able to traverse into a world and a location and a land so freely and exploration on your own, it is something that is unique that even animes and movies cannot project. And you can't enjoy it unless you play that specific game, in my opinion. So, Takeuchi loves Kojima. Kojima goated. Another Kojima W. It is what it is. 今後の冬には, so here comes the big ass question that you've all been waiting for, right? The last question is. Thank you. Yes, actually, I do need that. Thank you. The last question is, this winter, I believe a final battle to conclude season 2 is waiting for us, correct? The never-ending story is to be predetermined smartphone games. You are currently trying to end it. Is the territory that we've all been stepping in. Can we get a last message, at least for this interview, as to the fans that who's excited for this who's excited for this final step? Can we get a last word message from you two? So Nasu answers, right, the final story of Nasu trying to end a unending game. Nasu says, in every video game, a video game is a video game because there is a clear. Yeah. Just like in anime, just like in movie, just like in manga, everything has a beginning and a constructed story and an ending will be given. But a video game is always ended by the user's own hand. And simultaneously, because there is an ending, because there's an ending, そして終わりがあるからこそ愛せるものと言います。Because there's an ending, it is also beloved. それは人生にもつながることで、青春時代はもう戻らないし、結末があるからこそ人間は頑張れるのです。It says that pertains to our real lives as well. We can't get back our youthful days any longer. But because there is result, humans and people can do their very best to reach that goal. 終わった後の虚しさや悲しさ、そして充実感はきっと心の栄養とにもなると思います。It says the accomplishment of feeling, the sadness, the emptiness, and the reality of the video game ending definitely will be a nutrient to the heart and to move forward. Understand that this year winter, just like we did with season 1 final chapters, it's going to be grandeur. So let us enjoy it all together, shall we? That was conclusion from Nasu. TLDR, he's saying all video game has an ending and has a clear. And every game has a option to end the game. Every game, the user finishes the video game themselves. And because there is an ending, you can love the video game. That also pertains to life. You can't bring back your youth, but there is a result at the end of the line, and that's why humans can do their very best. And even if everything is over, you might feel sad, you might feel regret, a little anger, but you also feel accomplishment. And that's going to keep moving forward. Saying that this year, winter, it's going to be lit AF fam. So we better get our A game ready and celebrate the final chapter, baby. Takeuchi says, FGO がゲームである以上、プレイヤーはすべからくゲームをクリアを目指すというか、FGO 開発開始前にナスキノコがカツアげた羅針状であり、その言葉は私たちの開発チームにとって揺るぎのない柱となってくれていました。FGO への関わり法や思いはプレイヤーさんの皆さん、それぞれだとは思います。しかし、ゲームであるということを大切にしてきたからこそ、今の FGO があるのも事実です。ここまで皆さんが良き旅をしてきたことと感じてくれているのであれば、最高の形でゴールにたどり着いていただくことこそが私たちがなすべき責任であり目標です。第2部終章まであと5ヶ月。一心不乱の制作に気がって参加して参りますので、規模とのともその時まで一緒に預けますようよろしくお願いいたします。一緒に見届けますようよろしくお願いします。Takeuchi says, FGO is a video game. And every video game has all the players make the game clear, right? Finishing the game is every player's goal and objective. That has been the pillar, and that has been the direction of Nasu ever since the start of FGO. And we have been, quote unquote, listening to that word as a pillar base. The involvement of FGO and how interact and others depends on the player base. But because we value this game as a video game, that please do understand that the current FGO exists as a true factor. If everybody up till now enjoyed this journey and enjoyed this 今の F15 があるのも事実です。ここまで皆さんが良き旅をしてきたと感じてくれるのであれば、最高の形でゴールにたどり着いていただくことこそが私たちの成し遂げるべきで責任であり目標です。It says, if you guys have enjoyed your journey up to this point and enjoyed it till now, it is our goal and objective to give you guys the final finishing line that is constructed amazingly that you all can reach to the very end. Season 2, final chapter, is roughly about 5 months. We are working as hard as we can and constructing things as much as we can. And so let us enjoy ourselves till we get to that final chapter together and have fun. The end. Will there be a server-wide raid? I don't know if there's going to be a server-wide raid. I'm assuming it is, but it's probably going to involve every single one of your grand servant to be participating in the video game, right? But TLDR, Nasu and Takeuchi is trying to, quote-unquote, get to the final chapter and end FGO. I mean, that's been the thing since day, right when season 2 came out. That's kind of been the goal. Essentially, Nasu's saying video game has an ending, and because it has an ending, that's why it makes it beautiful. He's not trying to make a never-ending game, right? So, I believe season 2 will end, and I think season 2 should end. And if he wants to make a season 3, that's really up to them. But we know for certain that season 2 will end with this final chapter this year. It's not too shabby. He never said there's not going to be a third season. He's just saying that any video game has an ending. And he's trying to finish FGO. At least Lost Belt. So we got about 5 months to get ourselves ready for this final party, aka the season 2 fun experience. Right? So hopefully you guys enjoy yourself. I don't think they're going to be talking about season 3 anytime soon. If they do, poggers, right? Poggers my nodders. But I think they want to concentrate on finishing season 2. And then probably we'll get another 1.5. So we'll get an actual 2.5. Not an ordeal call, but actual 2.5. Like Epic of Renman Part 2. And then we might get season 3. We don't know. We'll find out in about 5 months. What do you guys think? Okay? Do you think FGO is ending? I don't think so. But at the same time, I think FGO Season 2 is ending. And I'm excited for that. So hopefully you guys enjoy the story. Hopefully you guys enjoy the translation. Because god damn, that took way too longer than I thought, baby. And I will see you all tomorrow for more interviews. Probably it's going to be a lot shorter. Just due to the sheer fact that I think a lot of people wanted the video recording of the Nasu long ass interview. But the other interviews I'll probably get like a segments. I'll kind of skim read it, and then something important I'll probably record it and then post it on YouTube. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on FGO for more. Okay, 11 a.m. MST all day, every day. See you next time. Peace.